Hey everybody, it's me again. See, I do listen when people text me or call me or say something. So, Chaps brought out a good idea and said, you know what goes good with goulash is cornbread. Well, since I already made cornbread last week, I think what I'm going to do is make some drop biscuits because drop biscuits are extremely yummy when you stick them in some goulash. So I'm going to do that, and I kind of changed where the camera was. Maybe this will work a little better. I don't know. Alright. So usually when you're baking, you want to do your dry ingredients and then your wet ingredients. So this is 2 cups of flour. Just regular plain old everyday flour. Because your hands are going to get greasy and dirty, you can grease your pan ahead of time. So I am going to grease my pan a little bit ahead of time here. I'm going to just bring this stuff over there so you guys can see a little bit better. And probably because it'll block some of that glare. Anyway, so I'm rubbing the lard. This is a big, ginormous cube of lard right here. Oh yeah. Isn't that beautiful? It's a big chunk of just pure yummy goodness. Alright, so I'm just rubbing that from stem to stern on here. And just getting it nice and greasy. See, it's all lubed up now. Because it's all about the lube. When you're baking stuff on a dry baking sheet, it'll stick like crazy. Oh, it needs to be semi-clean. I cooked cookies on this before. So, and apparently I just didn't clean it very good because I got cookie crumbs on my hands. So, anyway, whatever. Cookie crumbs won't kill you, and they taste really yummy. So, I'm going to leave those cookie crumbs on there and let them become part of my biscuits. Alright, so drop biscuits are just that. They don't require you to knead anything. You don't have to fluff anything. You don't have to mix. Well, you have to mix, but you don't have to cut in the fat and all that stuff. So they're actually pretty easy. But I need some baking powder and sugar. So let's see, what are we looking for? A tablespoon and 2 teaspoons. So, a tablespoon of baking powder, two teaspoons of sugar, there's 1, 2. Since these don't have yeast in them, they're gonna rise with the baking powder, which is the leavening agent in them, and also some cream of tartar, which it also needs a half of a teaspoon of. So a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, right there, bam. See, I faked every out. See, nobody's watching live right now because they think I messed up and I accidentally sent the request twice. But, gotcha. It's a whole new recipe. Anyway. Put this back over here. My cream of tartar, and then I believe salt is the last dry ingredient. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Yeah. Again, you don't really have to measure a 1/4 teaspoon. It's just like a little splat. All right. So a half a cup of shortening. So, with my shortening, I have to get my half a cupper. And the oven is at 450. That's what you just heard beeping in the background, was the oven telling me that it's ready. So half a cup. And because I'm going to have to mix this in, I see somebody's not faked out because they logged in here. They must have realized that I was actually making 2 videos today because I haven't made any in a while. And again, Chad called me out on not making any kind of bread to go in the goulash to dip it in. So I'm going to continue making these drop biscuits. So I could have just scooped some, just taken this and scooped it in there. But when you're cutting it into the dry flour, it just helps if you've already kind of chopped it up a little bit. Just it just helps. I'm just saying, trying to save you some headache later. But so we're smushing all this lard in there, and the lard is happy lard, and it's going in there, and it smells so good because that goulash is cooking. And I'm right next to my little Scentsy thing that Jenny Shackow got me into. She didn't buy it for me. I had to buy it from her. But anyway, it's pretty good. Oh, you logged out. Okay, that's cool. I talked to myself. I can do that. All right, so there is a half a cup of lard action right there. So that's a half a cup of lard action right there. We're gonna scoop all that right into the dry stuff right here. Yeah, right there, just like that. Now, because I'm using lard, different fats take heat differently. So it depends on what you're trying to do. So I like flaky drop biscuits, and so I would use either vegetable shortening or lard for that. You can use butter flavored Crisco or any of those things. Those work pretty well too. Oh, everybody logged off. Whatever. So those will work. They're good. They'll do the trick. But if you use lard, they're gonna come out very flaky, because like pie crust that you make with lard, just the lard pops and bubbles, and it does all kinds of really good things when you cook it. So lard back in here. Okay. And I didn't need my second bowl because the only wet ingredient in this recipe is milk. And it's only like a half of a cup of milk. So actually I think it's a whole cup of milk because I'm making drop biscuits. So yeah, that's correct. It's a whole cup of milk. Alright, rinse these off because I got ADD. Ooh, a treasure chest. That's what Andre says. I see the treasure chest and I have to go look at it. So anyway, I do have a pastry cutter. Pastry knife. That's what this is right here. Pastry knife. You've probably seen it in your mom's kitchen if your mom actually cooked. And that's what it's for. It cuts the fattening stuff into your dry ingredients and makes it so you don't have to use two knives, which I've done before, because I think I showed you guys how to do that in another recipe. Is I use the two knives to cut stuff in, but I may not have, and I may just be thinking that I did and I really didn't. So anyway, this is drop biscuits, and the reason they're called drop biscuits is, like I said, we're not gonna need this, we're not gonna turn it out on anything, we're not gonna roll it and mark it with a B for baby and me and all that weird stuff. Not happening. What we're going to do with this is we are going to just straight take it and we're going to grind all that in there and get it nice and mixed. But, oh crap, making a mess. That's okay. The only drawback to wearing all black is when you're cooking with flour and stuff, you tend to mess yourself up really good. But anyway, trying to keep the flour in the bowl and not on the clothes. Okay, so when you're baking biscuits and it says to mix the ingredients until it looks like coarse like dry peas or pea-sized pieces or whatever, that's what they mean. So if you ain't mixed it enough and it doesn't look like a bunch of dry peas, then you ain't mixed it enough, so keep mixing. And one of the good things about using either Crisco or vegetable shortening, since I'm not sponsored by Crisco, nobody's paying me to say Crisco, although I've said it a bunch of times, and if I was getting paid, they would owe me a lot of money. But anyway, if you use lard thaws out really quick, so even if you take it right out of the cold refrigerator and you pop it in here and you start cooking with it, or start mixing it, it'll mix really well. It just gets warm and starts mixing really good. So you just want to scrape the sides of the bowl. You can get all this stuff in there nice and yummy like that. And you want to mix pretty well, because what happens is you may have well, let me see something. I just did something new, because technology is always fascinating, but I shared that on Facebook while I'm live to see if anybody can like log in while I'm live. We'll see if it works, because I have, I don't know, 400 something people on Facebook that follow me, and maybe, just maybe, somebody will see that and go, oh, let's see what Cory's doing live. He's streaming some weird stuff. Let's see what this weird dude's doing. And they'll see me making biscuits, and they'll be like, oh, got me. I didn't want to watch you make biscuits. I thought you were doing something cool. But anyway, so that is what they're talking about when they say it looks like course meal or pea-sized pieces or whatever. So if you can see that, let me put there. See how it looks like little peas, little round pieces. So what that means is that you've got in there really good, and you've mixed all the dry in with that wet, and now you can take this and you can turn it into the drop biscuits. Hey, get your face off of there, weirdo. Sorry, dog was trying to get his head on the table. Alright, full cup of milk. Probably going to be the last of my milk, because said the expiration date on your milk is just a suggestion. It's not the law. The milk police aren't going to come in and take your milk out of the refrigerator and throw it away if you didn't use it by the expiration date. You know, and you're not going to die. I gave it a sniff. It's not sour or rotten or bad or anything. You're not going to die if you use some old milk. What do you think buttermilk is? People drink buttermilk all the time, and it is, I don't know, I drank it. It's rancid. It's tasting ass milk. So if you're going to drink that, you can drink this. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to recycle this milk thing, because recycling is cool and we want to make sure we recycle. And I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit, because I made a bit of a mess. Okay. And nope, I guess nobody is logging in live, which is cool. It's cool. I don't need everybody to look at my live show. It's all cool. I don't mind. So this in the thing. Bam. Now, move, dog. Crazy animal. We're going to stir the milk in to the dry. And this is very thick. So you don't need to just jump in there and start whacking it around. I would suggest not using a wire whisk. I would use a wooden spoon. If you're a kid like me and your mom used to whack you with the wooden spoon when you were bad, you might have some bad memories of the wooden spoon, but you know, wood works and I like it. So anyway, maybe if more parents were willing to whack their kid with a wooden spoon on the butt once in a while, we wouldn't have all these discipline problems and these entitled kids running around. Just my opinion. I turned out all right. Now, I didn't whack my kids with a wooden spoon though, and they didn't turn out all right. Well, we'll leave that one up in the air. They aren't all fully grown yet. 2 of them are teenagers and not doing anything. So maybe if they would have got a wooden spoon across the ass once in a while, they would have been motivated to do good things with their lives. Alright, so it's all mixed. This is the drop biscuit juice. You just take this and you drop it by, like about like that much. Blop. And you're just going to make a pile. It's going to plop on there on the greased sheet. You're going to cook those in there for 20 minutes maybe, a little bit longer if they're not cooked or brown. You want until they're golden brown, and that is your drop biscuits. And then you're going to slather them with butter, and we're going to stick them in our goulash, which is almost done. Anyways, thanks.